When you were getting mentored, what were some things about that person's setting that just opened up your eyes to what could be?
With Ed, with my
Yeah,
conversation
with
with Ed,
Ed.
you know, he talked about just always pushing hard. And he said one thing to me that I have on my wall right here. And he said, it's an acronym and it's CANI, CANI. And
Mm,
it says constant and never ending improvement. And so I have that on my wall. When I see that every morning when I get up and I'm looking at my vision wall that I created in my office, I see that and I'm like, every day I want to get better. And he always says, do one more rep, do one more phone call, get one more person, right? Like, so he really pushed that, like, keep pushing no matter what. You have to figure out how to zone everything out, all the distractions, and stay focused on your goal and continue to fight for that goal. Continue to fight for your dreams, man.
yeah, that's how he maxes out.
Yep. Max out every time.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
now. And in doing this show, the Eric Allen show specifically, how have you seen yourself grow from 2019 till now?
Massive, dude. And it's almost like it's selfish for me to get on a podcast and go talk to these amazing people. I'm like, I just want to soak in all this information, right? And then I'm like, oh, I can't. I got to share this out with the world. But like every podcast that I have, no matter who the guest is, MMA fighter, entrepreneur, whatever, it's like a mentoring session for myself, right? Like I go and when I go to edit the show, so I do everything myself. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm taking notes. Man, that was so good. Oh, that was awesome. Because sometimes I don't catch it during the show. And it's helped me to figure out my morning routines. It's helped me to figure out my mindset, who to surround myself with.
Yeah,
Like Ed talks real big about like, hey, real important. If you're stuck in a rut, right? Like if you're stuck and you're feeling like you can't go anywhere, you're not doing as well as you want to as a husband or financially or provider or whatever it is, right? The way to get out of that is you have to go surround yourself with people that are living the life that you want to live.
yeah,
So you go find someone in the church that's, has an amazing walk with Christ or has an amazing marriage or has an amazing business, right? And you just go surround yourself with them. And just being in their presence is going to motivate and make you want to lift yourself up. And that's what I did. I still do that today. I still go out to networking groups where I don't know anybody there, right? I just want to get uncomfortable because if you can
yeah,
get uncomfortable, it's going to help you move in the right direction.
yeah. There's somebody I know. She says that growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is somebody I know who left Puerto Rico, no job, came to Texas, and just on a wing and a prayer,
Come on.
applied for jobs and went for the one that wasn't guaranteed, but showed the most promise for future growth.
Yep.
And she was just like, well, that's way out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to go for it. Well, she now works for me full time. So
Come on, dude.
yeah.
That's awesome. That is
And
awesome,
when
man.
I tell her story with her permission, it gets me choked up. I'm like, that is gutsy. And just her philosophy on life, like everything she's achieved in her life, there was a threshold where her comfort came to an end.
Yeah.
And beyond that was where her growth was. And she just
Yeah.
had to pull up her bootstraps and go for it, get out of her comfort zone. And every time it's paid off. There have been setbacks and stuff, but at 27, she's achieved more than anybody in her family expected.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, she's got a lot of future ahead of her too. And that's for any of us. I mean,
Yeah.
our growth is outside of our comfort zone. I mean, MMA fighters, they win matches because they're willing to push themselves that one rep more during
Yep.
their workouts. 1 minute more in the ring during sparring practice, and and it pays off. It's that 10,000 hours of practice that makes you the expert. All those cliches are backed by logic and reason and proof. And
Yeah.
it's just, totally makes sense.